Hey, what's going on, everyone? What was it? Was it Wednesday of this week? I believe we had a nice little chill off out here in eastern Oklahoma. It got down to 20 something degrees. Didn't get down to the teens, but it got to 20 something degrees. My wife and the chunk and we went off property to run some chores and everything. And usually our dogs will follow us up to the road. Sometimes they'll run behind us for a little bit. Then they'll come back to the property. And that's the usual case. Uh, they came out, started running behind us. Uh, then uh, the dust and dirt from the road, because we live on a dirt road, started kicking up. And then I couldn't see them in the mirrors anymore. So that's usual, that's standard for them. Then they make their way back to the property or hang out up at the road and watch the cars go by, different things like that. Uh, we get back and I usually feed them early in the morning, and then and well, sunrise, sunset. That's when I usually feed them. So we get back, and there's only one of the dogs here, and it's one of the girls. So of the dogs that we have left, it's Milk Dud, the mother. Then one of the only girl that's left, Toon. She was here on property, but then the three boys were gone as well. So I was like, all right, well, maybe they're up on the mountain over there or back here on the property. Whistle for them, and didn't get anything. So that was Wednesday evening. Thursday, like, okay, well, we'll get up and feed them as normal. They usually know around the time that we're going to feed. And I come outside, just Tune, the female was here. So I was like, oh, that's odd. Then it's coming around. Well, what was that Thursday? Was that Thursday Halloween? Go to my calendar app because I can't even tell what today is. Yes, that Thursday was the 31st, Halloween. So there was some cause and concern for in the area for people that do sacrifices or will go onto people's property, take sheep, different things like that, so they can sacrifice it. Weren't sure if that's what happened with our puppies. So it's like, oh, well, let's just give it some time, some thoughts, some prayers into it to see and figure out what's actually going on, what's actually happening. So then uh, Thursday evening, went to feed, and only Tune was there. And it's really concerning. I spent maybe about 2 hours outside, like whistling, calling, using a louder whistle, walking up and down the road, nothing. Then again on Friday, kind of giving up hope. They didn't come to eat. I have a couple of cameras up, didn't see any of them on camera. So there was no sign of them. So what were the potential impossibilities? Okay, well, maybe they got into a big fight with coyotes because they're livestock guardian dogs. They watch over the property, they go hunt coyotes, kill them, and then that's usually the end of it. I did see them hanging out with some of the local dogs in the area, which were a lot smaller than them, like little handheld dogs. But sometimes they run them off. Sometimes those dogs will come around and they'll all hang out on the road. So it's like, well, maybe they're running around with them and got lost or something like that. Then we started thinking the worst. Driving up the road, maybe they got ran over, but it would be pretty difficult to run over four dogs, Milk Dud and her three sons. So didn't think of that as an option. Maybe they got caught. We started checking the local social media saying, oh, we found these dogs, or a local shelter, different things like that. Still nothing. So I then started thinking, well, maybe they got into a fight with some coyotes and lost, and they all died. And then uh, on Friday, the heck was that? On Friday, my wife saw like a hide or something that Toon was running around with. Weren't sure if it was a dog hide or a cow hide that she found, but it had black fur on it, so that was about it. But it seemed a lot older, and it would have been way bigger than our dogs, but wasn't sure. So Shabbat, sundown started happening. We said our Shabbat prayers, and we also said, my wife, she started telling the chunk, like, oh, well, maybe the puppies went to dog heaven, and that's why they're no longer here, and this and that. And I didn't want to put that thought into my mind. What I did in the prayer was pray for their safe return, or whatever the Father's will is, that they were great puppies, they were great companions, they were great stock dogs, and if they're to return back to us, we are grateful for that. And that if they no longer exist, or are no longer alive, we thank them for their time and ability with us, training us to be better stewards with our animals, and training us to hey, my chunk. My chunk opened the door and yelling out to me. But yes, in a moment. Awesome. See, look at those little blessings. They came outside to tell me that he went pee-pee on the potty. We're potty training him now. So that's another blessing. Yay, no pamper payments. But back to the puppies. We had that prayer saying we wish them well, because it had already been 2 days. One was below freezing out, but they're livestock guardian dogs. They could just curl up, tuck their nose in, and then they'll be good to go. But not seeing them for what, two almost 3 days was a bit strange and odd. Maybe they got caught, maybe they got killed, they went onto somebody's property, and that somebody may have not liked dogs and are quick to shoot. So we didn't know what to think. So we prayed and prayed and prayed, and we went to sleep, got up the next day on Shabbat, and we went out. I went outside to go feed Toon. Then it's like, wait, there's more than one tail running around me, and the boys were back. So Toon and all her brothers were there. So that was a blessing, but still no Milk Dud. Whistled for Milk Dud. Whistled and called for her, and nothing. But the boys were back. It's like, okay, well, maybe they got lost far off on the mountain, couldn't find their way back, couldn't smell their way back. But Toon, at night, I would be outside with her, and you could hear dogs, coyotes, and a whole bunch of other animals far off in the distance that were that would be barking or howling and stuff like that. So tunes, you for like an hour or two straight every night. And I guess that was her way of calling them back home, giving they're trying to find home. They can hear the sound is coming from that direction, and for however far they went, they were able to make it back home. Then that afternoon, we were so grateful that our prayers from the Father uh, gave us that blessing. We come outside to leave for a Shabbat gathering, and then my wife, she's like, "Wait, you're bigger than them." Milk Dud, and she was like, "I think that's Milk Dud." And it was Milk Dud. Milk Dud had came back as well. So all of our puppies are back, which was like we had written them off that something happened to them. I was thinking like maybe they went off like hunting and stalking and fell into a ravine or something like that, or like there are rock quarries in the area. They could have fell down, couldn't get back out. And we don't have GPS trackers on them or anything, so we would have never known where they were, what happened to them, and that would have been it. I mean, that would have been it. So now it's just a blessing. There's one, I think. One just walked past. Yeah. Where'd the run just go? He just laid down back behind the table. But our puppies are back. It's a blessing. And they celebrated last night by barking up a storm, which we were so joyful for and happy. So it may not happen in the time that you want, but the Father does answer your prayers. So be grateful. Be happy. Shalom.